What's going on, y'all? We are back in the building. Back in the building, y'all. I don't know who was here yesterday for our Love and Marriage Huntsville recap, but y'all, that thing went for 3.5 hours. I'm about to listen. We about to mega live it over here like Stormy and that Canvas Beauty. We about to do some mega lives. Y'all know how the people be on the TikTok and they be doing these mega lives. Y'all, we're gonna keep that thing going. We're gonna be talking about the Real Housewives of Potomac. We're gonna be talking about Married to Medicine. We're gonna be combining them into one just so that we can kind of get through everything that we got to talk about because there's a lot to discuss. So if you haven't tapped in already, definitely go ahead and subscribe, hit that notification bell button, and hit the like button, smack the like button, give us a little bit of love, y'all. That helps keep us in the algorithm. I'm gonna put your comments on the stage. I gotta do my due diligence, y'all. I gotta let y'all know about our live podcast. Me and Monique Samuels will be hosting a brunch and live podcast Ponderosa. All right. We're going to have the Tylers in from Love and Marriage DC. We're going to have Sherelle Duncan and Alfred Duncan, who you may have seen on Love and Marriage DC as well. Sorry, I got tongue tied there. But listen, you can hear Sherelle on the TV, or on the radio, I should say, on WPGC. Now, the great thing is WPGC is now our official sponsor. Okay. You can get the tickets in the link in the description of this video at the Bethesda Theater. Y'all, the Bethesda Theater is going to do it up real nice for us. So I really want my DMV squad in the house. And if you are anywhere in the surrounding areas, definitely come on down and meet us, okay? We're going to be live. I'm going to be getting some tea from the people, but we're also going to be talking about some of that good life stuff. And of course, the DJ is going to have y'all on the flow, all right? So it's going to be a good old time, a good old Ponderosa. All right. So the reason why I'm dressed as so is because I was doing a podcast for my girl Anna Kinkosis and Ace Fanning, who are the co-hosts of one of my favorite shows. So I'm going to put that in the description down below. Reality Court podcast. It's on YouTube and you can listen to it wherever you listen to your podcast. But of course, we had to do a fashion recap from the Golden Globes. So y'all know when we got a theme going on, I got to get into the theme of things. You know, I had to get into character, you know? So if I'm gonna be critiquing red carpet looks, then I gotta be a little red carpet ready. You know what I'm saying? So a little bit of just behind the scenes tea. That's also why I'm running a little bit late. We've been on the line since 9 a.m. And so your boy's been talking. And so I had to go and get some tea, which is why it took a little bit of time. Now, make sure you guys check them out. The podcast will likely be out probably tomorrow, if not today. If not today, then probably tomorrow. So, but I'll let y'all know. Yeah. That was my inspo for today. So, and I didn't want to take a lot of time trying to get undressed while I made this tea real quick, So I was just like, you know what? I don't want to be extra late, so I'm just gonna leave this on. So here we are. Okay. What else do we need to talk? Real quick. A lot of you guys yesterday tuned in, tapped in. We had a little bit of Sunday school for those of you guys that want to get started in your content creation journey. We have the content creator kit that I did talk about yesterday. You can book a strategy call with me. Some have already booked their calls, which is absolutely great. But also, too, you can get the books and everything else by clicking the link in the description as well. We'll talk a little bit about that more. I might do a Monday evening school. So just be on the lookout for everything else that we got coming up with that as well. And that you can find right here. That's in the link. Okay. So let's get into Potomac now that we got people in the room. One of the things that I love to do when we do lives is I like to give people a little bit of time to get the notification so that they can come into the room. And now we can get started and get on into the things. Okay. Potomac, last night, we are on season 10, episode 14 is called High and Dry. Hmm. I want to know in the chat, what do you guys think of Angel's accommodations for the ladies? Angel has done the podcast in the interview circuit, and she has let us know that, hey, that's what I'm talking about. Let them know. Let them know. She has basically told us that there were not a lot of places left in Colorado for them to get something that was closer to the house, and that there was only a certain amount of rooms that she could allot for people to actually stay in her home. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that Angel's home is absolutely gorgeous. Her home is beautiful. It is definitely magazine worthy and magazine ready. And I'm going to give you guys my take on Angel in general. I would like to see a second season of Angel. And I'm going to tell you why. I am not the person that wants to throw the baby away with the bathwater. I think that it is very interesting to see a first season housewife come in this way. She clearly has the coin. She clearly has the lifestyle that the show looks for. But I think that it is interesting to watch her try to figure all of this out. She's definitely a fish out of water in this era of housewives. I personally think that if Angel had been on season 1 of Potomac, that she would have fit right in. There is something about watching her in her confessionals that really remind, especially when she's in the black with the hair that's kind of like loose curls, that reminds me of early Karen Huger in the way that she speaks. If you go back to season 1 and you listen to Karen Huger, watch Karen Huger with the brown hair, right? This is Karen before the blonde. Watch Karen in her confessionals in season 1, and then watch Angel in her confessionals, and you will actually, I think, see some similarities that you may not have seen before. And I just invite you to open up your eyes and your ears just a little bit, even though she may annoy you with some of her sort of sourpuss attitudes that she's had at the beginning. I think that what we were seeing was somebody in real time trying to navigate the waters and really not getting it. Despite whatever someone may have told her, I also feel like she's still kind of learning her way in this new world of housewives, right? It's almost as if someone said, "Hey, cast somebody that you would cast for season 1 of Potomac." And then they brought in Angel and Tia. That's what they feel like to me. They feel more like season 1 ladies for a show. Like if they were to have to restart Potomac, then I feel like Angel and Tia would be good additions. But it's smart of production to bring these types of ladies in while while the cast is so seasoned, or at least we still have those OGs left. OGs who are coming under fire for some of their mean girl antics. But some of those things are warranted in this episode. So let's get into it. We start off the episode with the ladies sort of quasi confronting Angel over this smoking gun of real estate information that apparently she wanted to get a house that was $14,000, but she really wanted the house to be $1,000, but she wanted it to look like 14,000 per month. And I'm like, well, who doesn't? Who doesn't want their house to look like it's filthy rich and only pay $1 for it? I mean, that's just me. That's what I want to do. So, I mean, why not? Why not? So, there's the question of whether or not the realtor is being messy. On Watch What Happens Live, she made it sound like she knows the realtor, and the realtor says she never even spoke with Wendy. But if she never spoke with Wendy, how would Wendy know A, who the realtor is that they did not use, and then B, it's just too many questions of y'all both know the same person and the person is I don't know that, and the realtor is never going to say, "Yeah, Angel, I did tell her y'all was looking for a place and you really couldn't afford what y'all was looking for, and you only wanted to pay $100 per month with you and these kids and stuff like that, who's gonna say that they said that behind her back? Nobody. Nobody. Okay. No, who can do you like me? Nobody. Who can do what you wanna? Nobody. Nobody. Nobody's gonna say that. Mm-mm. Nobody gonna say that. So I don't know. And then, should she have called the realtor? Maybe. Maybe. I mean, it was probably smarter for her not to call the realtor, because at the end of the day, I mean, it would have just turned out, and it could have turned into an ugly situation. Because if you're confronting the realtor, excuse me, if you're confronting the realtor on national television, hey girl, let's play that out. Let's play it out real quick. 1-800-REALTOR. Okay. Ring, ring, ring. Hello. Hello. Hey girl, this is Angel. I have you on speakerphone. Okay, and yeah, we're also recording for the Real Housewives of Potomac. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Do I have your approval to talk to you and question you about some things? Because I have some ladies here. Oh, you don't want to be on TV. Oh, okay. You don't want to be on TV? Is that what? Well, girl, why not? Why wouldn't you want to be on TV if I'm about to catch you in a lie? No, it's not gonna work, right? It's not gonna work. Who's gonna agree to that? Nobody. So with that in mind, okay, the funny thing about it was, as Stacy's like, girl, just call the realtor. Wendy's like, ha 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 ha, hell, you didn't want to call TJ when we was confronting you about whether or not you was paying him to be on this show or not. Oh God. Let me tell you something. The funniest unfunny thing on this show was Gizelle calling Angel's business Wander Nuts. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. Gizelle was being a stark raving bitch in this episode, but I do feel like it was with good reason. I'm not gonna lie, it was with good reason in this episode. It was, okay? It was. Now, maybe not with the smoking gun that y'all thought y'all was gonna get Angel in some gotcha moment. It really just proved to be a whole nothing burger. And to be honest with you, I don't care. If she did want to pay $1,000 for it, girl, get a discount. Like, why not? Okay, tell me how to get a discount like that. Okay, and then give us a course. Teach me. I'll sign up. You paying $1,000 and you staying in a house that's really $14,000 per month, and you got the coupons, girl, give them to me. All right. Next. So, you know who else was hilarious to me? I think that Kiana should take whatever and listen, I am not an advocate for, I'm not going to tell you to do, let me take it back a little bit. If Kiana were on whatever she was on this trip throughout the rest of the season, I would not mind that. Because Kiana, to me, was hilarious and has been hilarious this entire trip. I don't know what is happening to her. I really don't. But everything she is saying to me, anytime she opens her mouth, every confused look she is giving, it's like, girl, where are you? I was like, no, I don't. Now, see, this is what I mean by you. If you have some kooky on your show, Eric's show needs a little bit of kooky, right? And granted, the kooky might have been induced either by the altitude or whatever she took. But baby, let me tell you, I like this Kiana. Kay, this is the way you need to show up continuously. Now, I'm not advocating that you need to take something in order to do that. What I am saying is you need to lean into the more quirky vibes that you can actually give. If you stay like this, you can stay on this show for years to me, because to me, I approve. You are Richie, you are Sky Squad approved for this show henceforth and forevermore if you stay like this. Yes, get activated every now and again, right? But you gotta get activated sparingly. My man, my house, my things. That was actually good. Okay. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was actually a good one. But I liked you in this spot, right? It's given, it's not ditzy. It's almost giving like, how did I get here? Who are these people? And I just love it. I absolutely, this is the K that I want to see more of. And I understand that if you look at Kay on Instagram, Kay is taking, I think, the Wendy approach to this, and I know, and you would have to go deep into the weeds. But if you watch Kay on her Instagram, Kay is doing she's taking the right moves. If I were to advise Kay in a capacity, that honestly needs to be my job. I should just be advising some of these people on reality TV, do this, do this, do this. If she stays in this lane of, it's kind of like an influencer, kind of like I'm taking you guys on a fabulous journey with me of makeup and things and all of the things for your face and your skin and your hair. Stay there, but stay goofy on the show. Stay goofy on the show, because that to me is what Housewives needs, and that's what makes it fun. Now, the girls leave, and Tia is in the car with Kay, who is completely out of it, and Angel, Lord, I done forgot her name. They go to her house. Her house is beautiful, as I stated before. It looks like something that could be an Architectural Digest. They get to see their rooms, which are fabulous. Then they have their own bathrooms and whatnot, and whoop-de-whoop. And one thing that I feel like I need from Tia is I want to see Tia step up a bit more, because she really leaned into her defense of Angel in this episode. And it could be likely because, she got a room at the end. I mean, she got a room at the house, the main house, not the quarters in the back, an hour away, right? She got the main house with the running water. So I don't know, Tia. Now that I think about it, I might be on Angel's side too. When nobody's watching, because at least you can bathe, right? You can bathe yourself. You can go use the bathroom freely. You can probably put your makeup on with nobody else in the room with you. You can probably use Angel's Glam Squad. You can probably, run through your end of the house naked if you want to, because you ain't got nobody else around you, and you got the sweet spot. And as Jazzy so eloquently shady pointed out, is that Tia is also a realtor who does not sound like she would be telling nobody else the information. So it could be putting Tia in the perfect position to potentially help her find a home. But what we do know is that Angel has told us on Watch What Happens Live that she has actually closed on her Potomac home. Ding, 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 Shawnee. That's the T right there. Angel actually closed on her home in the Potomac area. Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. So when you think about the casting for next season and you start to think about who actually lived in Potomac, then now you know that face belongs to Angel and Karen. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, so now we have that. Now, Angel. We got to talk about the other girls, okay? Oh my God, poor OGs and Stacy. Stacy's reactions. If you watch the show and you just watch Stacy's faces, they really, honestly, Stacy's faces are a show in and of themselves. Like, just watch her reactions in the scenes. She is hilarious to me. And when she said, "This is like a horror movie," and you know who's gonna die first? The pretty nice girl. I was like, "Yeah, Stacy, I just adore you. I don't always believe nothing you saying, but I do it. I do adore you. Like, and she's just so likable, And I'm gonna talk about Stacey in a minute because, I gosh darn it, I don't believe her. But at the end of the day, I like her. I like her a lot. And I know it's bad, but I almost feel like, girl, keep lying. Like, just lie to me. Tell me more. I want it. Just give it to me. And I think the reason why is because she does so in such an affable way that ultimately she feels fresh. I can't really explain it to you. There's just something about her, and I know somebody is gonna come into the chat and tell me how hypocritical I am, but I'm just being honest about how I feel. Like I can't help myself. I can't help it. So anyway, the girls at the house, at the house of horrors, they don't have running water. As Gizelle says, it's intermittent. Um, Angel put them in a fun house, baby. She didn't put them in Airbnb. She put them in a fun house, okay? Full of surprises. You never know what's going to happen when you step behind door number 1, 2, 3, or actually, that's probably about it because that sounds like all the rooms. Otherwise, people are sharing. So the girls then, they have to skedaddle an hour away to get to Angel's house. Angel, gives the tour, and again, it is fabulous. Yes, I love it. It's just decadence. The house is just oh my god, it's great. However, are they having a party and all Bobby's friends are invited, or was Angel low key trying to do some matchmaking with maybe some eligible friends of Bobby's? Regardless, as Angel is introducing the group to this gang of guys, the guys seem like they could care less about meeting the ladies that are in front of them, and so the interaction is just awkward. It almost feels like Angel was trying to say, girls, look at the high net worth people that we run with. I have a fabulous circle of friends. I want to introduce you to wealth manager Bob, stockbroker Ken, asset manager Jody. Take a look at them women. Look at these men who look completely unexcited to see any of you. Take your pick, Gizelle and Ashley. You're both single and ready to mingle. How about one of them for you? That is what it was giving to me. And I was kind of like, it would be a difference if the guys were like interested, but they just was like blank faces. I was like, what is happening here? So then they end up moving. And who is Nina? I mean, who is Nina? I mean, I I don't know Nina, but were we even introduced to Nina? I don't think so. Meanwhile, it's time for lunch. The girls sit down for what appears to be a very nice catered. Angel is a great hostess at her own home, but maybe she's not a good hostess like for a group event. Or maybe she was just under the gun, or maybe this wasn't the best of her, right? Because sometimes we can do something and they didn't get our best. I've done videos sometimes where I wasn't my best, but I still showed up, or I was sick and I still showed up. But I don't know. I can't really call it. So we would have to see her host another trip. All I know is that the spread at her home is lovely. It's absolutely lovely. And so the ladies eat, and Gizelle brings up, hey, no, before Gizelle gets there, we've got to talk about Tia and Stacy. It's asked if they're getting along now. And Tia is like, well, I'm not really, I just don't, basically, Tia doesn't trust Stacy because she feels like Stacy lied about, as two examples, she feels like Stacy lied about the Timo thing. Yes, Stacy gave a variety of answers to whether or not Timo could make whatever could make it to dinner with Wendy and her husband and Tia and her man. But it really just sounded to me more like Stacey might have just been covering for the fact that the man just felt uncomfortable and didn't really want to be on film and on the camera with them. And because it was such an obvious lie, because it was merely days apart. So it might have been better for, I kind of almost wish that Tia had said, hey, is it something that he feels uncomfortable with, that you feel like you need to cover? I think that that would have been a better question for Tia. And I think that it would have proven Tia to be a bit more empathetic to what it is that might be happening with Stacey and Timo. But I do get that that Stacey doesn't quite know, Tia doesn't quite know Stacey well enough to engage in that level of discourse with her when everything that's being presented to her is counter to an honest person, right? So then the next example that Tia uses for as a basis for distrusting Stacey is whether or not Stacey ran back and told Chris Samuels that Monique was speaking negatively about him to the ladies right after they had that first sit down lunch after Ashley's Pride Parade thing. Now, I don't know. I because of the story and the way it's so convoluted, I don't know that I completely buy whatever is may have been happening with Stacey and Chris, because I don't know. It's murky to me. I don't get it. Maybe they were friends, maybe they were talking, but the thing about people who are maybe at a single stage or whatever and wherever, when people are talking and people are in situationships and people are dating and then people go together or whatever you do, all of those things are look very different to a bunch of different people, and they're almost indefinable at this point in time. You could be talking to somebody and they think that it's you think it's just you talking to them, and they think that you guys are just casually dating. I don't know. I just don't I can't call it. And I think as Monique is processing it and asking Stacey about it, I don't think that she can actually fully process it either. So until she has a concrete definition of what really happened, it's very murky for even the audience for me to figure out, well, what is the situation here? So we kind of have to just leave it at that. But Tia warns Monique, you will see. Okay. Now, then it's Gizelle's turn to roast Angel about the intermittent water at the house. I don't blame Gizelle for being mad and upset about that. I just think that those are things that we, at a basic level, just need. And you know, I would have been out the door the moment that I realized that I did not have running water. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not. I think that, yeah, I mean, we're adults at this point, and I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. If I'm hosting a group trip, this is easy for me, right? I'm hosting a group trip. If you get to your room, all right, and I pray to God this don't happen, but if you get to your room and you're on a group trip of mine and you tell me, "Hey Richie, I don't have any running water in my room," I'm marching my butt right downstairs to the concierge, and we are demanding a room with working water. Point blank. End of story. I don't care what I have to do. We are going to make that happen. I don't care who I got to call. I don't care who I got to fuss out. My guest is not going to be uncomfortable in their room where they don't have running water. Period. Full stop. Because at the end of the day, now you're effing with me. You're messing with me. You ain't just messing with the person that came on my group trip. Now you're messing with me. And what they experience is a direct reflection on how I put this together. So no, I take that personally. So I definitely would have been trying to move heaven and earth to try to move those ladies. I'm not going to lie to you. The moment I heard about that, we gotta get on the ball with this, because at the end of the day, it's just like that's just things that we need in life, right? We need running water. We need, especially if you're going to be doing a television show and you want me to come to your house and I can't even shower after taking a plane ride. No, 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 no. All right. Um, so there's that. And so then the ladies have a cute little idea to have a pajama jammy jam, and they ask Angel, because Angel has laid out the whole plan. You know, we got some things in store. You know, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be whoop de whoop. You know, we're gonna have a good old time. We're gonna go fly to Aspen. We're gonna go to the Kimo Sabe, where Kyle Richards likes to dwell, and maybe we'll run into Maurizio. But hint, 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 we won't talk about it now. We'll just save it for the next episode. Um, yeah, let's do all the things. And it sounds great. It sounds perfect. It sounds like a day. I love that. I love it. I'd love to go to Aspen, you know, and I've been to Colorado and it's beautiful. But when they ask Angel, "Hey girl, can everybody come over to our place without running water and and you spend the night with us so we can all, you know, have a pajama jammy jam?" Angel is like, "Ooh, oh, y'all ain't got no water." Ooh. Oh my God. Ooh, girl. We got running water here. So, Bobby. I mean, she she literally says, what she does say, she didn't say that. What she does say is this. She says, "Listen, I got my kids here. My man is here. And I was really looking forward to, I think what she didn't say, and I'm going to tell you what she said. What she didn't really say was that I took from it was my man is here. We got running water. My kids is here. I'm not really trying to mess with y'all like that overnight. To be honest with you, I don't really care for many of y'all like that. And I am glad you're not staying at my house. So why would I want to spend the night with you when I can stay in my nice, comfy California king size bed with my man? That's what I was thinking about. That's what I heard. But what she said was, "Oh, well, I got to talk to Bobby because, you know, he's going to have to put the kids to bed," or something like that. And so Monique is like, "Well, you know, just let him be a dad. Let the dad be a dad and let him do it." And let me tell you something. Angel puts up that hand. She's like, "Talk to the hand, girl. You coming too close. You coming too close to the fire. You're about to get burned. You cannot talk about my man, 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 my man. No, you will not. Okay, this man right here, Cordell is not perfect by far. Not this man. No, ma'am. You will not do it. You won't do it. Don't do it to me." When I saw that hand, I said, "Oh," I said, "Monique, you in danger, girl. You better back it on up." Angel is on one. And baby, let me tell you something. She might shut it on down. She might shut it on down. Okay. So at that point, the ladies get back in their car and they're about to truck it all the way down to the Mexico where they are actually housed. And they have to go over the river and through the woods, through Sleepy Hollow, encounter the Headless Horseman, get chased by Jason Voorhees, run from Freddy Krueger, get chased by Michael Myers in order for them to get back to their homestead, right? Um, and so there's a discussion amongst, you know, some of the ladies that, you know, for Angel, she kind of feels like, "I don't understand why Bobby is coming up in the conversation at all." In the other car, Monique feels like she has seen this situation before because she has felt like she has been in Angel's shoes, right? Because Angel is planning the trip. Angel kind of has to balance her time between a husband who I do not believe. I think that Bobby supports Angel's decision to be on this show. I don't think Bobby really cares for doing this show. I specifically don't think that he cares for the ladies and the way that they have treated her. So I think that some of the energy that is probably being given is because he really don't care to be there. Even when we watched him last night on Watch What Happens Live, and I meant to show y'all this earlier. Shout out to our friends over at Reality Rundown for capturing this moment where Bobby basically says to Andy that Angel is really what the other women wish that they could be. Boom, boom, boom. Let me hear you say, well. And so I do agree that Angel has everything that's necessary to be a housewife in terms of when we look on paper. But I also don't necessarily know that the other women are jealous of her per se, as much as I think that they probably realize that she's, in theory, actually a great fit for the show. But I think that they also know that she is an easy target because she does not know what she's doing on this show quite yet. Okay. So, because Angel's downfall is sometimes that she is wanting to be a little too mindful. Like everything's mindful. Like they had to do the mindfulness. They're doing mindful. Everything's mindful, intentional. And, you know, Housewives is really not a mindful um occupation, you know. Granted, it can be maybe. I mean, maybe you can choose to do things and do them with class, but it's really not about mindfulness. Like I'm not going to put on Housewives and do some yoga. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not gonna put on Housewives and try to meditate. I'm putting on Housewives because I want to laugh. I'm putting on Housewives because I want some entertainment. I'm putting on Housewives because I want to cackle at some shady people, living alleged high class, highfalutin lifestyles, sipping champagne, throwing a little shade, going on some extravagant vacations, and just doing the things, right? That's what I want to see. So I think that Angel either needs to recognize that she is on Housewives and not HGTV, but she would be good for HGTV. Her and Bobby, I think that may be a better suit. But I'm not willing to, again, throw the baby away with the bathwater because I think she's still finding her footing. I think she's still finding her footing, right? Now, given that I do believe that Bobby does not want to be there, I do not believe that he likes the other ladies in any way, shape, or form. I think it's too soon to say that that Angel is in a situation that is similar to Monique's. What I did enjoy about what Monique said was more about what production does for the show, like for a cast trip. That to me I am shocked that they left that in the episode. So I'm shocked because it lets us know what production will do, how much input the ladies actually have. So it does add some transparency to the whole process of a group trip. But I just don't agree that Angel is necessarily in the same position that Monique was in. And I definitely don't think that Angel is going to admit that to anybody because she's actually still in it, right? So she would not, and she's going to be defensive as anybody would be if somebody says that, oh, you look like you might be in the same situation that I was in. It's just not going to play out well because she's never going to say, yes, I am, especially if she's all about her man, her man, her man, her man, her man. It's just not gonna, you can't do that, right? So I do think that, I'm like, oh, Monique, I think you might be treading on thin ice with Angel on that one because Angel looked like if she don't defend nothing else, she look like she gonna defend her man, her man, her man, her man, her man. Period. Bobby! That's what I think. Um, I mean, you know, it is what it is. And it could also be that because Monique is still going through her situation, as she told the group earlier, that she's on guard whenever she sees something or when she sees Angel struggling to manage it all. And I think that is probably more or less what she is feeling, a defensiveness or maybe a protectiveness over her. And she does, maybe the real feeling is, I don't want you to be what I was. That would have been a more accurate assessment or a better way to say it. And I think Angel would receive that a little bit better, but she's still going to be protective of her man regardless because she's married to this man. So I just see it that way. That's how I see it. Okay, speaking of, where do we leave off? Gizelle takes over the cast trip. Gizelle makes the decision, the executive decision, baby, baby. Gizelle says, no, I'm not playing this game with you no more, Angel. We don't have no more running water again. The water was not running again, y'all. Again. So when Gizelle says and makes the executive decision, I'm getting us another spot. Absolutely. I'm here. Take me. And it almost seemed as though Gizelle was going to be paying for the group. And I'm like, absolutely, baby. Go ahead. Oh, take me to the Ritz. Take me to the Ritz Carlton. But I don't know if she's just taking over the trip in terms of the accommodations. It sounds like Gizelle might be trying to take over the trip in terms of what they're about to do. So we're going to have to see how that plays out in the next episode. All right. Let's get into Married to Medicine real quick because I know we got to talk about that. And y'all know me, I'm not going to be real quick. So, okay, let's get into it. Bravo, y'all are not doing a good job to me with putting up these descriptions of the episodes anymore. It's almost like somebody is slacking on their job. Is it because it's the holidays? What will go on? Because when I look up okay, they did do it for Married to Medicine. They didn't do it for Potomac. This is season 12, episode 6 of Married to Medicine. Another thing that I wanted to say about the whole Bobby situation, when I saw him on Watch What Happens Live and the camera kept panning to him, I couldn't tell if he was like on his phone playing some type of game. He just looked, he was definitely supportive, I think, but I couldn't tell if he was really that engaged. So I don't know. All right, Married to Medicine, season 12, episode 6. Dr. Heavenly hosts her first ever family reunion where she reveals a shocking secret. That secret is basically that she has a brother. Apparently, this brother has popped up. The rest of the group is like wondering, like, where did this brother come from? Apparently, her dad had some child or some children out of wedlock or something like that. And so she has welcomed him into her heart with open arms. And she's still beefing with her son, who was in the news for the things that happened with the police officers. Okay. Toya breaks girl code by confronting Angel's date. I can give you the stilo on that. Angel brings a date to the Ponderosa that Dr. Heavenly is having. They also do a macaroni and cheese off, which I did think was a good idea. I myself have just learned how to make macaroni and cheese, the real way, okay? Not the out the box way, but the real way. All right, yes. I even makes my own macaroni. I'm kidding. But I have learned how to make macaroni. I'm still perfecting it. There is definitely an art to it, but I have everything down except I feel like, well, I ain't gonna embarrass myself, but I'll just let y'all know. I'm almost there. I'm 95% of the way there with my macaroni and cheese. And I'm gonna tell y'all it's about to be award winning. I'm gonna get it this year though. I'm gonna get it this year. Toya breaks girl code by confronting Angel's date. I don't know why this was much to do, but Angel in a previous episode was like basically like hook me up with somebody. In this episode, she's brought a date with her to Dr. Heavenly's event. And while I did think it was like, that's odd. You just were asking to be hooked up. But again, this is where I told y'all people can think that people can say one thing about that they're dating, but they could mean another. So she could literally have been, oh yeah, I'm open to you hooking me up with somebody, and she could still be dating other people, but maybe that other person doesn't know that she's talking to other people. I really don't know. Um, so yeah, Toya was being messy. I think Toya's job um this season is to go around and poke holes in everybody's stuff, right? It just seems like Toya is just literally walking around stirring one giant cauldron of mess every time she turns around. Now say what now? Add black truffle Gruyere cheese. Is it how you pronounce that? Okay. Okay. Somebody write that down for us. Somebody write it down, save it for us so we know what to put in our macaroni and cheese. Rob just gave us Rob just gave us, don't it though? Don't it sound good? Side note, y'all, what I learned yesterday in our long live, you have a notary business, right? Yes, yes. So if y'all need a notary, you know where to go. All right. Katrina says, is she welcoming her brother now because she's running for office and thinking that they would bring it up? I don't know. That's a good question. That is a good question. Now we doing a little sidebar. To all the people that choose to put sour cream in your macaroni and cheese, don't put too much, although I don't choose that ingredient myself. So I did put it in my last one. I don't think I put that much in it though. Now this sounds good too. This actually sounds really, really good. No problem, no problem. I told y'all, say y'all got to say what y'all do in the chat. If you got a business in the chat, let us know and I'll highlight it. I don't mind. I'm not trying, like, I want people to win. So put your business in the chat. Put your page in the chat. I mean, don't spam it, but you do your thing. Let people know. Toya is from Detroit. She is who she is, messy and direct. Love it. Other than that, Married to Medicine would be boring. Who was the dude with Angel? So apparently, this is some new dude that she's dating. And Toya was like, "Girl, wasn't you just asking to be hooked up with somebody?" So I don't really know. That was confusing to me. Okay, so two big aspects of Married to Medicine last night for me that kind of were very interesting. Quad is back from Ghana. She invites the ladies over and it's Dr. Contessa, Dr. Heavenly, and Angel. They inform her of the things that went on while she was gone. We learn a little bit that Dr. Simone is looking up people's information. She would love to know the VIN number of Quad's Rolls Royce so she could look that up too. I guess it's because it was gifted to her by King. So I'm assuming that there is a suspicion about something regarding him, but I'm not sure where she's going with that. I've not gotten too into the weeds with him or his business. What I do know is later on, what we will find out is, as you know, Quad is going to Ghana. She's going back and forth to do the IVF. Apparently, something has happened with her eggs. Somebody in the chat may be a lot more qualified to say exactly what that process is and how it came to be that she was so emotional at the end. But basically, it sounds like the process is not going too well. And so for King, what his thing is throughout these past couple of episodes is that these trips to Ghana are cutting into time with his work and with his daughter. And it almost to me doesn't really sound like she will, well, that he's really, I mean, it he's basically seeming like he's okay if they don't have kids via this process. And he's like, is this practical to keep going back and forth to Ghana if it's just not working? At what point do we put a stop to this and say, hey, this is it's just not working. It's just not working. And she's upset and she's crying and she doesn't want to face the possibility that it may not be feasible to keep flying back and forth for this purpose, because I would imagine that you're going to Ghana, so that's a trip in and of itself, right? Flights, accommodations, but that, and the fact that production isn't going there with her, we don't see this process, we don't see them in Ghana at all, lets me know how expensive all of this probably is, not to mention the IVF in general is probably, it could be more expensive there, I'm not really sure. But I think that there's also something happening maybe hormonally with her when she goes through this process, as I would imagine is a result for anybody else who might be experiencing this or going through IVF. So, uh, is he justified in his thinking? That's what I want to know from you. Do you feel like he's justified in his thinking? And I also want to know, is it just too expensive here in the United States for her to try to get that done here? Isn't there someone that Dr. Jackie could recommend to her to perhaps get this done if it's not working there? Maybe try it here so it's not so expensive? That I just want to know. I feel like they allude to more arguments that we don't see. So whatever tension that is happening between he and Quad, I think it mostly happens off camera. So when they talk about Quad being hormonal, and when they talk about how they have argued and how you apologize to each other, we've heard that in previous episodes. We've never seen them argue. So we don't know really what they're experiencing. Saintly Iconic Soul says, is someone currently freezing eggs, which is slightly different. They always you have a supportive, they want you, I'm assuming you say they want you to have a supportive partner because any of those kinds of things can be taken on a relationship. Um, hey. I'm looking at your comments. He's justified. Yes, he's justified. The procedure is expensive. It's most likely cheaper in Ghana. Yes, he is. I see a lot of you guys feel the same way. I get how King feels. He's a working man. He's trying to build his finances while trying to support Quad. He has kids, and having more is what she wants because she doesn't have any. Elle says, then she said she was doing things in order, but they aren't married and they don't live together. It makes no sense, and King appears a little annoyed with the funding and the travel. Mm. I'm going through your comments right now because I'm torn on this one. I really am. I think that this is such an interesting space for them to be in, and I think it really is going to be one of those things where it's like, is she just going to have to? It is. This is the reality of it. Will she just have to accept the fact that maybe this is not the time for her in reality, right? And then, clearly he's okay with that, but will she be okay with that? And is she willing to explore other options like adopting, or, that could be a viable option for the both of them is adopting. Would he be open to that? Dr. Jackie already said it was unrealistic. Mm. Yeah, this was probably one of the more, I think to me, the one of the more interesting aspects of the show. I also thought it was interesting to see Dr. Mimi and her husband and how they managed their kids. Um, Having a child who is neurodivergent, but also exploring how that affects the sibling. That was eye-opening for me. That was completely eye-opening. It gave me a lot more insight into her, how she shows up, and what they're experiencing on a day-to-day. Like, that to me was that I thought that was there were several good scenes. The other scene that I thought was very telling, and it gave me a little bit of a different look at Dr. Simone. I've always, or at least in these past couple of episodes, it's made me feel like Simone has been screaming from the rooftops that she needs some support, that she feels exhausted, that nobody is, in any way, shape, or form looking out for her. And so when her and Cecil are preparing their mac and cheese for the mac and cheese off, for which I could have swore Toya was cheating. Okay. I got a different opinion about Dr. Simone now, slightly, or at least about how her and Cecil work. By watching the previous episodes, I was firmly on Dr. Simone's side. The woman seems exhausted. That's the feeling that I get. I also get the feeling that if it wasn't for them kids, that she might be retired. Or at least that's the way that she said it, right? What I did not like that she did in this particular episode was I don't like when people speak in absolutes. Here is why. Dr. Simone says, I don't give an F about people that don't give an F about me. That is such an absolute statement to say to your husband or to say to anyone who is very close to you in your life. It is a direct implication to the person, whether you want to admit it or not, that that person does not indeed give an F about you. I don't think that that is what she meant. I think she said it because she felt like it would more accurately convey a point to him. I think that the statement was meant to trigger him. I think it was meant to elicit a response from him. It was a veiled threat. I think that we saw Maurice do a similar thing on Love and Marriage Huntsville in a very different way, but there's an implication, a carrot that that she dangled in front of him. And it wasn't the divorce carrot in this instance, it was no one gives an F about me. Okay. That's a very absolute statement. I think that was a mistake. I think to actually communicate her point, what she would have been better off saying, I need you to help me with the kids, and I need you to take a firmer stance with the kids. That is what she clearly meant. Because now the conversation is not about what you're actually frustrated about. Now the conversation becomes he's got to defend himself and prove to her that I am a valuable that I'm doing something for you. So this is the original argument is out the window. Now it's about something else in totality. Now it's about now we've got to start going back and measuring the things and ways that I have helped you. Okay? I don't like that. I don't like when people do that. I just think it tells me that you can't stick to the focus of what you're actually upset about and that you cannot communicate well. That's what that feels like to me. Now, granted, I think she said it out of frustration. I do. But I also think that to say that he doesn't give an F about her, I think it's going to the extreme. Unless she just feels unless she truly feels that way. But the evidence that she does not is that she walked it back. She literally walked it back as he's now defending himself and is like, "You're saying to me that I haven't been in any way, shape, or form an asset to you?" No. And she realized it then. And as you watch it on the screen, watch the scene play out. She then walks it back and says, I mean with the kids. Okay, cool. See, we can work with that. We can work with you are upset about this issue. So unless you've been holding back all these other things, which is unhealthy for you, we can work with the issue at hand. I can say, how can I help better? How can I more support you so that how can I go about this? What would you like to see happen? I would have preferred she took that stance. But then what I realized about it is I'm not getting upset about Cecil and Simone no more because it is clear that this is just how y'all communicate. Because 5 seconds later, y'all laughing and kikiing and caca. I ain't taking y'all serious no more. I ain't getting upset with y'all. I ain't getting upset for y'all. Because y'all are used to this. This what y'all do. This what y'all do. Cheers. Cheers to the girls' weekend. That's what y'all do. So, you know what? I'm fine with it. Y'all fine with it? I'm fine with it. Ain't nothing gonna change. Ain't nothing gonna change. I ain't about to be upset with y'all. I ain't about to be in. I'm not getting into the weeds with y'all no more. You won't see it happen from me. Nothing back nor forth. Okay. I like that. I think it applies. Okay. You better say it, Angela. I can't be mad because at the end of the day, this what y'all used to. When I saw them cackling and Kiki and Kakan, now granted, I do think, and this is what I mean by that, and I want y'all to understand and hear me clearly. It feels like this is what works for y'all. That's what I mean. This is y'all's MO. This is y'all's MO. This is what y'all do. This is how it works. This is clearly how it's been working for y'all for 25 plus years or so or whatever. I can appreciate that they're willing to have these conversations on camera, especially more so than, I mean, we gets nothing from Dr. Jackie's life at this point. Like, I mean, we getting more from Dr. Heavenly than we getting from Dr. Jackie. And I feel like Dr. Jackie is supposed to be a lead on this show, but I feel like we gets nothing. You gets no love from me. So while I am no longer going to be tethered to the highs and lows of Dr. Simone screaming antics and Cecil's quiet confrontations, boom, boom. Say it again, Tonda. Say it again. One more time for the people in the background. One more time. One more time for the one time. One, two on the one, two. One, two on the one, two. One, two on the one. Say it. Say it. Say it, Tonda, because this is it. This is exactly why I do not get involved in my friends' relationships. You got a problem, I really don't want to know about it. But if you do decide to tell me about it, I will listen to you, but I'm not going to take sides. I am simply here as a listening ear and I'm being a good friend and I will give you a hug. I will get you a drink. I will buy you a meal if you need to. You want to drive somewhere, you want to go out of town real quick to get away. But what I won't do, what I shan't do is put myself and my feelings in your relationship because at the end of the day, 9 times out of 20, y'all gonna be back together. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I'm okay with what if you want it. If that's what you want, that's what I'm on. Okay, that's how I am. Now, until you get into y'all get into some drama, then I'm not on it. I'm taking you off the train. I'm off the train. I'm watching over here. Right. I'm not on the train. I'm actually at the station. I'm waving you goodbye. Sayonara. That's me. Right. Um. Yeah. Go ahead and put it as a friend. I love you, Dr. Jackie, but I ain't financially. I'm sure you said they'll air some Jackie Christie. I mean, not Jackie Christie. Lord have mercy. Dr. Jackie Walters commercials during the episodes, and you will make millions. Girl, get on TikTok and start selling some stuff. Do your thing. You know what I'm saying? I'll sell your stuff over here too. Send me something. What we peddling? I peddle. I mean, if it's gonna help the people, get these people some testosterone shots, some punani shots, or whatever you're giving. If it works, fine. Boom, let's go. Let's do it. But you on the show, you ain't giving us nothing. It's just like y'all just sitting back and being the elders of the church or something like that. And I don't mean in age. I'm just saying y'all just sitting in the background, singing in the background. Okay. Exactly. When they get back together, because you know they will, you gonna look like the troublemaker. You gonna look like the person that's reminding them of what they've been through and whoop de whoop. Not me. If you like it, I love it. If you don't like it, I don't like it either. But I'm gonna not like it from over here, and I'm not getting involved. Y'all get back together. Oh, congratulations! Let's go out to eat. That's me. I'm not a part of the drama. Keep me out of it. Leave me out of it. Leave me out the group chat. I don't know. I thought she had some type of, she got all kinds of things going on. So I don't know. Exactamundo. Like it is what it is. And again, y'all know I want all the people to stay gainfully employed and get their money and be happy. But in terms of my enjoyment and what you're actually providing for the show, we got enough doctors on the show. We got enough people who work in the healthcare profession. We could use a couple more doctors' wives. So, you know, I mean, I think Dr. Jackie is good at what she does, but if you're not going to give more than just being the head doctor in charge, then what are we watching? You're taking up the space as somebody who is and that's the thing with these shows. Like sometimes a person who really doesn't have anything left to give or who doesn't really want to give anything else, it's you need to cycle them out. And yes, there's the familiarity aspect of having had her on the show for so long. But I also think that when there is nothing else there for the person to do, then let's graciously give them a way to stay connected to the cast and allow them to maneuver on and explore different areas of their life. And then if you have something else going on later, we can maybe explore it. But for right now, let's move on. Let's move on. Okay. All right. So listen, that was Married to Medicine. We'll see what happens next week. I think we're going to have some more Dr. Simone shenanigans and quad. And I don't know how much more I'm going to be able to take of that. How much more we want to see of that. How many times can I see the same argument rehashed 85 different ways? I don't know. But we'll see how that pans out. I was gonna do another Monday, a Monday lesson for the day, but I think I may do it around 5. So for those of you guys that want to learn more about, content creation, how to generate, revenue as a content creator, whether you have your own business or you want to do it faceless and you don't have a product or a service to sell in tandem with your content, definitely tune in. Yesterday we had a great conversation. It is a great space for sharing what you know, your business, your expertise, and also get some knowledge as well. So we'll be back on at 5, I think. No, 5, probably 5:30 because I have an interview at 4:30. So definitely jump back in with us because we're going to be doing the doggone thing all over again. We did it yesterday for a good 2.5 hours. Yesterday's live was 3.5 hours total, but it was good. It was so good. And I just feel like I want to keep that energy going. I want to keep it moving and popping because I want as many people as possible to know that your current situation does not determine where you end up, right? And if you are somebody who has the desire to a put your business online in terms of your business, the things that you sell, the products and services that you have, but you haven't started, you've been sitting on your skills and abilities, you've been too afraid, you lack the confidence initially, you know that you're supposed to be moving and you don't really want to move because you got that fear block, that mental block in front of you. I'm going to help you move past that because there's too many people out there who are sitting on their gifts and I just cannot I think that there's a level of responsibility for me. We can talk about tea, we could talk about mess, but there also has to be some messages that we also give, especially because I also feel like that's also an area of expertise for me, and I just don't want to waste my own gifts. Bruce says, let's get Mariah back. At this point, the seasons lately hasn't been given to me at all. I agree about Dr. Jackie. Thank you, Bruce. I would love to see Mariah back as well. I don't know why sometimes they don't just bring back the people that we absolutely love. I mean, I understand that there may have been some conflict, but listen, time heals all wounds. Let's move past that and get back to entertaining the people the way that we know that we should. All right. So anyway, yes. I'm glad it was a blessing. So we'll be back probably about 5:30 to do another lesson. Maybe we'll call it like night school or something like that. Um, yeah, I got to figure out a little catchy name for it. But I don't want to get caught up in the name. I really want to get caught up in the action and the execution that we're going to inspire. So if you are interested, please tune back in. I'll put up a live for it in a couple of hours. I need to grab some lunch. I have another meeting at 12:30. And yeah, so I'll be back on a bit later. So tune back in. Hopefully you can turn the notifications on, but I'll put it in the community tab as well so that you guys can catch on to that. And I might have a little lesson planned, but we'll see how it works. Thank you guys for tuning in, being turned on, tapped in, and tuned in to this episode as we talk about Married to Medicine and Potomac. And I will catch you guys in the next video.